Ami ku laman, me and the sea. The ocean was always a big part of my life. I almost born in the ocean, and in the beginning, coming out of fisherman family, fish was very important in our life. If there was no fish, there was nothing on the table. So that's why the ocean was always very important for us. My name is Elvis Martinez, and I have a nickname called Piscechi, and that is a small bait fish. From very young age, I used to throw cast net and catch fish from us, and also my school teacher always asked me to have bait fish, and that's why they gave me that nickname, Piscechi. That's the most people on the island know me as Piscechi, so that became like my artist name. I come from a fisherman family who, from part of my grandfathers and mothers, from both sides, mother and father, was fishermen. From very young age, I get involved in fishing, especially with nets and also traditional fishing, and learn from the very young age the whole technique of fishing, and also how important was to respect the environment, the ocean, and so that because you're depending on the ocean. Our family was fishermen, so we have to fish and sell the fish not only here on the island, but also to especially Curacao, and sometimes also to Aruba. There was like a company. We had a lot of people working for us, and this is a whole process: how you catch the fish, how you prepare your nets, how you market it. But very important was what kind of fish you catch. And in old days, especially reef fish was not a favorite fish for the people on the island. So mainly you target for wahoo, mahi-mahis, dorado. Tuna was also not a favorite fish for the people in Bonaire like it is now. And that's why the fishermen was not target all type of fish. And they teach you from very young, if you have to catch a fish, you have to eat it or use it for bait fish. And for example, the big school of fish we catch, the masbangus, the jacks, we had the fish, and sometimes we catch so much we cannot sell all. And after a week or two, they start to get skinny, so we open the net and let them all go. And you couldn't catch them too small. They didn't need to send police to you or something. The other fishermen will correct you. So you have to be careful what you're doing and how you treat the ocean with respect, because you're depending on that. And I used to catch fish before I go to school. So go fishing 5 o'clock in the morning, come, take a shower, my grandma will prepare the fish, sell them, and when I come back in the afternoon, again, you have to go fix net, buy gasoline for your grandfather to go fishing. So the whole life and the whole talking at home was about fishing. And that was from my grandfather, who was like my father, because I grew up by him, not by my father and mother, by my grandfather and my grandmother. And so my grandfather's name was Andres Martinez, they call him Mode, who have a slipway on his name. And from my father's side, Dui Diaz, he also had a fish market at his house, and he also was fishing. And his mother as well, Catarina Leonora Diaz, also have a slipway on her name. So that can tell you that we come really a fisherman family of people who is, a lot to do with the ocean. My families, not only from my grandfather, but my great-great-grandfather and great-great-uncles, they used to fish and work on the coast from Venezuela. So that's why one of my grandfather, my father, come out the Isla of Margarita. And with that connection also, there was very, more than 100 years ago, involved. I don't know exactly how he got here, I don't know the story exactly, but with the celebration of, the La Virgen del Valle. So we do now, for more than 100 years, we have a celebration where all the fishermen come together. I grew up more than 50 years find my grandmother organizing this event once a year in September for all the fishermen to come together, to pray, and then my father took it over, And lately, for the last 5 years, me with my sisters and brother, we are in charge of organizing, because my dad is aging, and we are organizing and keep that tradition. And we also add now blessing of the fleet, like they do it in Venezuela. We do it here as well every year in September. And this is a tradition more than 100 years ago. That's another proof that it comes deep inside what we are so connected with the ocean. We could be in the leeward side of the island and listen to the sound of the ocean, of the inlet of Lac or Lagoon or Washikemba. And on that sound of that, they call it the mouth of the bay, we couldn't tell there was a storm coming, or they're going to be raining, the change in the climate. The people can see the color of the sun when it go down, what's going to happen the next day. Because remember, you have to know if it is windy, you cannot go fishing far. The formation of the clouds in the afternoon tell you what's going to be the next day. When you are in the ocean, way out, 20 miles out, fishing, looking for mahi-mahi, you just see the formation of the cloud. It's going to be storming, then you come close. You was living very connected with the nature. And my point of view is that we are close to lose a lot of information, a lot of value information who have been passed from generation to generation. These people had a lot of knowledge because they was depending on it. And how they treat the fish, like I told you, if you're not eating the fish, you don't kill it. You don't kill for nothing. All what I learned in my life, the water, it's life. And the corals very important for the fish. So the discussion is what happened with the coral. There was so much coral on the island. What happened? We can blame each other for the decline in the coral. And the coral, if you have coral, you have fish. Even the masbango we catch, when you have the spawning, and that's when all the masbango come and they eat it, and all the other fish eat it. So we have to treat it with respect, and we have to protect our bay. We have to make sure that the bay don't become land. So, but you have to do it with expert, and again, combine those experts with the locals. Because if I can see, for example, in Lac Bay, I've been coming here more than 50 years, and I see how the formation of the mangroves and how things going. If it keep going this way, in 80 to 100 years, there will be no more bay. This might sound very unpopular, but I'm thinking we should consider to open a lot of even the old bay who closed for hundreds of years ago should be open to get more life. And from the bay, the fish go out. And I truly believe in artificial reef. We should consider that to be more aggressive, to put not only for people to see it, for divers to see it, but to create a fish that they get a habitat, then they can live. The corals can grow on it. If you snorkel, you can see in the sand, there's no corals growing. Any other debris or something is in the ocean, corals grow on it. So I believe that's very important. And I can tell you one of the projects, great project on Bonaire, one of the best that they do lately is, beside the conservation we have, is the coral restoration. This is a great program. So we should have more of this kind of thing, so then we can have more fish, because fish is healthy to eat. It's important that also we keep our tradition. And last and not least is we should have more respect for our fishermen, the true fishermen, not the one who go through a line and don't have the education. Look at all the local fishermen in Bonaire. They don't target all the fish. They know what kind of fish they go for, and they know how to treat the ocean. I say again, fishermen, not a lot we had it, nothing against, because we all was immigrants at some point, but a lot of people come just recently to the island, they netting all over, they catch the fish, they throw it on the, so this kind of thing was never good for the environment, and we should treat the ocean with respect. Again, water is life. That is my meaning.